Live from the cubicle in the basement of the one Vanguard analyst who suggested voting no that time on something.
Oh.
It's an all-new Terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants.
Terrific Tuesday. That is way too cheery for you.
It is way too cheery for me. In today's all-new... Oh, wait. I'm joined by Ari the Data Queen. And also, Hazelnut Rawlis is making a surprise appearance.
Who shaved?
He's not even supposed to be here.
Did he shave a little bit?
I'm your analyst, Toll Matt Muscardi, and today's fiduciary duty called August 6, 2024, the mildly cynical good game.
Aww.
With a guest appearance by the dog.
That's what the dog thinks about this.
That
He's
is about
calling
right.
BS.
Yeah, the dog is like, this is a cynical good game. Our show today is being sponsored by Free Float Analytics, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free. You go to freefloatanalytics.com, use your email address. You can sign in as like jack@fakey.org and make your name I don't care about governance and still see 90,000 active directors and how they perform on multiple dimensions, how companies perform. It's fantastic. It's fabulous. They're a fabulous sponsor. I'm really glad that they're sponsoring us for.
Wow, you're giving them a lot of airtime right now.
Well,
they didn't pay for all of this. I know that.
Someone's got to give it to them. So today we're going to play a good game. Is everybody ready to play a good game?
Oh, I don't know who picked these headlines. I'm a little scared.
I don't think I've ever played the good game.
You've never, because you always run this thing. Yeah. I separated it. After the good game, we're going to have a short list. The list is unfettered board intelligence. Unfettered board intelligence.
Okay.
Damien may miss the list, depending on when he has to catch his bus to France. But I separated the good game into 3 parts.
Okay.
The good game is I read a headline, usually Damien does, and Ari and Damien will vote on whether or not it's good on a scale of 0 to 10. And then we decide if it's good.
What a stupid game this is.
It's the stupidest game
Who thought of
we've
this?
ever come up with. I don't know. Your mom thought of it, actually.
Okay,
I broke it up into 3 categories. Could be good headlines, probably good headlines, and definitely good headlines.
You're leading the audience already?
That's correct. I'm going to lead. And so let's play the good game. Let's do I have good game music? No, I just play this.
That makes us feel good.
Yeah, that's good music. All right, here's your first headline. Scientists use nanoparticles to remote control brains of mice.
Wow.
All right. I'll just say I chose this because I thought this was better than AI.
Wow.
So is it good? Is that a good headline? Do we want
man.
Is it going to stay in the hands of scientists, or is it going to eventually go to a publicly held company controlled by a man who has dual-class shares?
What a great question.
Unclear.
I'm okay if this stays in the public sector, in academia, scientists, but I'm kind of afraid
for
otherwise.
what purpose? What could this be good for? I guess we could hijack cockroaches and have them do stuff.
Oh, like our own cockroach army?
Yeah.
But
isn't that the plot of Ant-Man?
I have no idea. I've never seen that. Or read it. Is it a comic book?
It was a comic book that they turned into 43 movies.
Oh.
My question is,
with Paul Rudd.
Why do we need
to
remote control the brains of other things, entities? Why do
not?
we need that? Why not? I'm going to give this sounds scary, Matt. I'm going to give this a 3. I don't like
I'm
this.
going to give this a 6 just because sounds crazy that they did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, see, could be good, right?
Yep.
That
I applaud
averaged out to
intelligence.
about a 5. It
You're
could be
leading
good.
me.
See the way this worked? All right. Headline number 2. Elon Musk. Now, I know you want to give it a 0 immediately.
That's automatically, yeah.
Elon Musk is opening a Montessori school in Texas this fall. Isn't this the wokest kind of school you could possibly get?
Yes, because they let individuals kind of follow their own paths, right? They let the students kind of guide their own educational paths, no? Based on their skill sets.
But it's all about including and it's all about diverse thinking and
that sounds great.
Although I will say that
Elon Musk is probably a product of a Montessori type curriculum.
He was in South Africa, so I don't think so.
Are you kidding? This is global. So
Here's the problem,
I would
though.
think so. And he was rich. He grew up rich. So I bet you he was.
Montessori schools do bend to their context and to their owners. My son briefly went to a Montessori school in Illinois where he was chastised because his parents were not married by the Montessori school itself, where he had to come home in tears and explain to us what. So I don't think there's not an international curriculum that Elon Musk is not going to ruin. And can I just say, Matt, that this briefly is touching into one of my ongoing obsessions and fears, and I think I'm right here, so it's not a conspiracy theory. I actually think that we're in the very early age of CEOs realizing that they can have unfettered power, unfettered wealth. And I've talked with you, Matt, that eventually they're going to be city-states controlled by CEOs. I think CEOs are not only going to eventually have their own like schools, spaceships to Mars. They're going to have their own armies. They're going to have their own militaries. I think they're going to have their own citizens that are. I think they're going to have citizens that pledge to live in their worlds. I think this is just the start. Just the start.
Everyone's middle name will be Musk, so they know.
I honestly think
overlord.
This is where it's going.
Ari Musk, data queen.
Yep,
we can't even control them now. We can't even control them now.
Wow. Ari, a 0?
Yep.
0 for me too. 0.
What doubles? All right, could be good. I thought Elon Musk opening the wokest school possible in this country.
He'll ruin it.
Might have been good.
He ruined the wokest car.
Oh,
this is true.
So
I did not
true.
take into consideration how he destroyed the wokest
ruined
driving
it.
you could have. All right, well these are probably good.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
so let's recover now. We got the worst out of the way. Here's the headline: Americans are growing more worried about extreme heat.
Huh.
What?
Okay, this is easy for me. I'm going to vote Damien.
Wait, you're already ready? How is
Yeah.
this probably good? Go ahead, Ari.
This is a 3.
A threat? What?
Why?
Yep.
But
Because
look-
I don't care that they're growing more worried. They're not doing shit about it.
But no, that's growing worried is the begin. They actually
Nope.
are recognizing something that they've never recognized before.
Nope.
Like, holy shit,
Oh.
it's hot out here.
Okay, that might
We'll
be
see
good.
in November.
Never before.
We'll see in November
That's
what
true,
this
Ari.
Saying
means.
stuff
true.
like they've been saying stuff like, like this is just, the cycles of the earth and it's not so hot and you snowflakes need to stop complaining. But now Americans are actually worried about climate change and
Now,
drought and heat.
Arizona's melting.
So I thought this was probably good. They're actually growing awareness.
Yeah, I think you're a little off, Ari. I'm a little bit closer to what Matt's saying here. I think that you do need to worry about stuff, right? Like over a long period of time to start to care and to start to make changes. So maybe this is a sign of something positive. I don't know. 6? I give it a 6.
Nope.
Oh, 6. That's not bad.
Although I'm the
Worse.
biggest hypocrite ever. I'm flying on a stupid jet plane into a heat
That's
wave.
probably going to end up being a Boeing.
Into it.
No,
No,
it's an Airbus.
No,
He
I
paid
Little
believe me.
bait,
extra.
little
What do you
bait
mean
and switch.
probably?
Little
Like I
bait and
can't
switch.
check that.
He-
No, they're not gonna
he
switch.
Dude,
paid
they can
extra.
change it.
I paid
they
extra.
can change
They
it any
do.
moment.
My wife
Except
got
for midair.
My wife got on a plane that she checked and it was an Airbus, and then when she actually boarded it, it was a Boeing, and she
Don't
was
tell me this.
pissed.
Don't tell me this.
Yeah.
Told you. So you
I'm
have to
flying
confirm with us
into
later.
a heat wave. It's going to be 98 degrees like for the next couple of weeks. I am the biggest hypocrite when it comes to this. So
If only you had some sort
I
of
should move to
awareness
Texas.
about extreme heat. All right, we'll try this one. Okay, now we're going to get increasingly better here. North Carolina AG office eyes Elon Musk's pro-Trump PAC after voter data complaint. So they are opening investigations
like
into
this.
Trump's super PAC, a Trump super PAC that was started by Musk because they're collecting voter data and saying they're going to register them to vote and then not registering them to vote. So they're basically just harvesting the data, but someone noticed there was a
in
complaint.
battleground states. Yeah.
In battleground states, they
Wow.
noticed, and now the battleground states with like Republican attorneys general are actually investigating
Oh.
Well, this attorney general actually is a Democrat.
this one is, but
Yeah.
it's also happening in Georgia, and I think they had another one maybe in, I want to say Minnesota. But
What's
maybe not
most
Minnesota.
This
insidious
sounds good.
about this story is that they are targeting battleground states specifically, so that if you respond to this ad in a non-battleground state, it actually will take you to the voter registration page. But if you respond in a battleground state, it takes you somewhere else. That's evil. I mean, that's bad.
But it would be the kind of bad that like no one would notice, but they noticed and they're investigating it. It's like they're basically saying you can't break all the rules, Elon.
I guess,
some of the rules matter.
They can't even get that guy for inciting an insurrection. So I feel. I mean, yes, good, go after him, but
it's not Trump. This is Musk.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, what? This can't be a high score.
This seems like a more clear rule.
This is a rule. You can't do the thing. They're literally saying, wait, that's a rule. That's not that's like black letter law. That's not like some waffly zone.
And this
where
is going to stop
Elon
Musk from coming up with some other way to break a rule. I just look. I'm happy, but it's not a huge score.
I'm going to give this a 7.
7. Jeez, Louise.
How long are they going to eye him? By the way, how long is it going to until the election's over?
Next, they're going to glare.
What's your vote, Damien? What's your vote?
6.
Damien's like, it's almost playing me in this game.
Well,
basically, the me.
I don't trust.
It's like talking
I don't
to myself.
trust that they're actually going to do something here.
All right. Well, now this one's purely pandering to Ari because I didn't know Damien would even be here. So this is the Ari question. New pair of pants has a built-in powered exoskeleton.
That sounds really cool.
So they did it. So they're actually using it with people who are like paraplegic who can't walk. Yep. But they're also saying like you could use it for like it's like you're weightless, right? Like it's like you can increase how much you can lift. They actually cite hiking.
That's cool.
I was thinking if you can't get Ozempic. Now at least it's easier to walk. Like it's
easier on your knees.
It's easier on your knees.
Like
fewer knee replacements.
Like, give me one thing about this that isn't good is really the question. So,
the price. How much does it cost?
It's a little expensive.
Is it covered by Harvard Pilgrim?
But Ozempic is expensive.
But it's $5,000 for the pants.
Oh, well,
okay.
Most of my pants cost around $3,000.
I would never wash these pants.
I don't know that they're washable. But Ozempic is like $5,000 a pill. So
is that true?
No, it's not that much, but it is a lot. It is like and it's an injection, and it's a lot. So, so this is better than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7 here. That sounds cool.
7. I can't even get with exoskeleton pants with the engineer in the room. I can't even get a 10.
Again, like this is a 10 for the science, but I just don't.
It's not.
I don't understand.
Thing you've ever heard of?
I just get confused by humanity in general. I mean, I live in a city where there are so many homeless people, and yet we're building exoskeleton pants. I just get confused by our priorities. So I applaud the science. I don't applaud, not taking care of the homeless. So I'll give it a 6. Another 6.
A 6. Oh my God! This is
I just don't know what we're doing. I don't understand.
Bad game.
This is what happens when like the science is handed over to a bunch of like Stanford dropout corporations. I just don't really understand.
Exoskeleton pants at least are cool. This doesn't destroy society, which is what they've been doing.
Yes,
this is way better.
Just trying to help them walk.
I gave it a 6, Matt. It's above a 5.
Man.
It's above a 5.
It's above a 5.
Damien's just thinking.
All right.
A mouse is going to end up on these, and they're going to be remote controlled. And
remote control mouse with exoskeleton pants that's worried about the heat.
It's going to go
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, part of a CEO's army. A fighting mouse.
All right. Well, this category I call definitely good.
All right, here we go.
These are definitely good. Okay. Anti-ESG proposals surged in 2024, but earned less support. So they're jamming the pipelines with anti-ESG proposals, but no one is voting for them. Proxy season is over. They basically earn less support than they have in the past. It just sucks.
That's good.
This seems like I'm not against them putting up these proposals. They have every right to put these proposals up there. So,
well, is it less support compared to other proposals, or overall everything just has less support?
Yeah, or do they mean compared to last year? Like, what does that mean?
All of
less
those
support?
things are true. They have less support this year than last year.
Oh.
They have less support than ESG proposals do. And so relative to themselves, relative to other proposals, they're just, no one wants them.
This is a solid 10. I'm going to subtract 1 because I hate the people who are putting up the proposal. So that's a 9.
You can't subtract 1. No, I'm
gonna
overriding
give
you.
this-
That's just a 10 for the headline.
No, you can't
I'm
override.
going to give this An 8.
An 8.
Yeah. Everything has less support.
Did you?
Jimmy, I don't care. I don't
Not
vote my proxy. Smith doesn't care that it's anti-ESG or just
Dare
ESG.
you impugn Jimmy
Not
Smith,
simple
first of
majority
all.
voting. I think that had more support this year.
And second of all, Ari clearly has not had a coffee today because, like, Ari gives you all 10s. Like, this is
Well, those are
ridiculous.
actually good.
All right, we'll try this.
I cherry pick for Ari.
Biden administration will ban federal government using plastic cutlery to combat climate change.
Oh my God.
This is
Are
we're
you
getting into the weeds
kidding
here.
me? This is horrible.
Horrible.
This is so
They're
terrible.
banning plastic cutlery.
Why not?
God.
No,
The
it's
biggest plastic polluters are oil companies. What are you doing about that, Biden? I don't care about the
You
stupid
gotta
plastic
start
cutlery.
somewhere. You gotta start
Gotta
This
start
is
somewhere.
somewhere.
This is paper straws all over again. You know how much those paper straws suck?
I like the
Oh,
paper
s-
straws. I like paper
I
straws.
hate them.
I
You
think-
gotta
Drink less.
chug your drink,
I literally
less.
think
or else
n-
it gets all limp and you can't.
Stop
freaking
spending
use
so
it.
much money at to-go drinks. All right.
Yeah,
I give this a 5.
A
wow, a
5.
5.
I should
give
give it a
this-
0 because it made me angry.
I give it a solid 8 because he's doing something. He's banning something. I
You're
like banning
correct.
things. I like banning
All
things.
right. Find a way to shit on this one, you two cynics. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is 2 headlines for the price of 1. Headline number 1, millionaire sportswear businessman flies woke-free zone flag over headquarters.
Wait, say that again. He what?
Millionaire sportswear businessman flies woke-free zone flag over headquarters. So they put up a
Woke-free
flag that
zone?
says, this
what
is
does
a
that mean? Does
woke-free
that mean
zone.
like whites only? Like what does that mean?
And then woke free zone flag at company headquarters forced to be pulled down after failing to get planning
Oh my
permission.
God.
This is in the UK. They didn't get permission to fly the flag.
town.
They put the flag up
bureaucracy.
and they had to immediately take. This is within 24 hours.
Right,
the
from the
flag was
city?
up. The flag was down.
It's
Yeah,
not his
the city-
private. It's not the private property. It's like city property.
No, they have
can't
to
put a
get planning
flag up?
permission to put a
flag
up a flagpole
Oh my
in
God.
the UK.
It's bureaucracy.
You're
at
not
its
focused on the
finest.
bureaucracy. You're focused on the comedy.
I was gonna
That's
say,
what you're focused on.
This is a 10 for humor. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is ridiculous. And by the way, I love the description: millionaire sportswear businessman. I mean,
I know. What's that?
is that just
Definitely
any
not Under
douche
Armour.
playing golf? Like, what is that?
I don't know what I mean. They weren't specific, but I wish they would have named the
It's like
sportswear
Trump.
businessman.
It's basically Trump and his friends.
Woke-free zone over here.
I mean, what a joke to even have that flag in the first place, and then the joke was on them as soon as they put it up. The
Woke-free
city
zone.
was like, "I'm sorry, you didn't ask for permission to put up that flag. You can't put it up."
But maybe he just started like the modern day Confederate flag. Maybe he's going to be maybe soon he'll be a billionaire flag making businessman.
That would be a better
Woke
business
free
model.
zone. That's so clever.
All right, here is your next headline. Women will soon have more money than men for the first time in history, and they're following the Mackenzie Scott and Melinda Gates playbook.
Is this true?
Wow.
Come on.
Is this true?
What do you mean? Is it true? It's the headline. I'm
Because
not, I
of
didn't. I
because
didn't
of what?
do the study.
Because of
Don't
like
say divorce.
because of wealth handover from generation to generation.
Stop.
I
Because women are earning more advanced degrees at higher rates and
Stop.
hopefully
that is true.
getting
There's no
paid more.
that's not what this story is referring to though. They're not out earning men yet. It's going to be aren't we
I
like
don't know what
decades away from that?
I don't know what they're alluding to by playbook.
Is this a generational
because
wealth
women
handover?
are they're homeowners at a higher rate. Single women are.
No,
than
you're
single
dreaming.
Men.
You're dreaming.
No,
Look,
that's true.
During the pandemic, there were more men who didn't find jobs, who lost their jobs, than women. That women got kept at a higher rate. Women have more education than men do in this country. That's been a steady change over the last decade or two. And now they're earning more, they're saving more because they tend not to spend it on things like exoskeleton pants. And they and as part of like generational wealth transfers,
Yeah,
women
this is
are
about wealth
heads of
transfer.
household.
This is about wealth transfer.
But what it
Which
is
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 fine.
all those things combined.
Yeah.
And the likelihood that they use that money the way Mackenzie Scott and Melinda Gates use it, which is to say,
Giving it away.
give it away for productive purposes.
Can they also take
rather
over the
than
VC
hoarding.
industry? Can they please take over the VC industry, please?
That's not part of the headline. I don't
Well,
know
I'm
what
just
to do about
hoping.
that.
I'm hoping that's
All right.
one way that they'll use their capital.
I'm going to give this a 10 because there's nothing bad about this.
That's correct. There's nothing bad about this. This is the good game. That's a good headline.
I mean, sure.
That's also a 10?
Yeah, I mean, what can I? There's
Wow,
nothing negative
Jamie,
about
I
that.
can't believe
Wow.
you voted a 10
But it's
on
not
that.
for
Did
the
you not
reasons-
hear generational wealth? Did
It's
you not
not-
hear that?
It's
You
not
hate that
for the
shit.
reasons that Ari's stating. It has nothing to do with advanced degrees. I'm sorry, but it has nothing to do with it.
All right, your last headline for the good game, which wasn't that good. Apparently, Damien needs to do the good game because
Well,
I can't
We
pick
had a
good
lot
headlines.
of tens here at the end.
Yeah, well, this one's going to be a 10 too. Google loses its massive antitrust case against the DOJ.
Why do I
10.
not care about this?
I care. I love it.
Yeah, why don't
Tell
you care
me why.
about this?
Tell me
That's an
why I
excellent
should love it more than a
question.
7. Tell me why. Someone.
Because it's Google. I
No,
don't know.
come on.
It's-
I need more information.
Yeah, you use DuckDuckGo, don't you?
No, I
Why do
absolutely
you
do
use
not. I don't.
DuckDuckGo?
I don't use DuckDuckGo.
Here's
no,
the reason
'cause
why
that
it's
was
good.
undertaken by the MAGA
No, really,
people.
seriously, I want to know why you think it's good.
They basically said that Google is a monopolist in search.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Which is,
Um,
I don't really understand that, but there are a lot of options. But yeah, go ahead.
It means that they have such a large market share that they control the market for search. Like even you can't compete on search
Because the Chrome browser is so popular, is that part of it?
because they embed it into Chrome, they embed it into Android. They've paid to have it be the first option for searching when you search on every, other platform. Like you go to Windows and like you go to search and it's not Bing is now like even it's difficult to get Bing, right? Like because they paid for everything and they own 85 or 90% of the market share of it, advertisers basically advertise only on Google. They own so much of the share that advertisers won't go anywhere else, which kills all the competition elsewhere. I
Look,
don't know.
I appreciate
they
what
said
you're
that's
saying.
not good.
I appreciate what you're saying. This is like the Apple problem with me. I mean, one of the reasons why Google I think is so popular because their products are great. I mean, Chrome
They're so
is
good.
great. The integration with their Google Docs and Google Sheets is great. Also with Gmail, and this for years their search has been the best. So that's why I get a little like, okay. I mean, I see what you mean, but what I want them to attack is the stuff that we attack on this show. It's like, why are they letting publicly traded companies being controlled by one person who manipulates the share voting process, they don't even own the majority of shares? That's what I wish they would go after. But I mean, I appreciate this, I suppose. It doesn't
Think of
have
the
a big
knock-
effect
think
in
of
my
two
life.
things.
Yeah.
Think of two things. First of all, right now when you do a Google search, the first thing that pops up is not a page rank. It's not like this is the most popular thing for that. It
Yeah.
is someone's paid advertisement.
That's a problem.
But,
I
but
agree.
even more, it is Google's AI stealing some data, some content from another website and
Yeah.
putting it at the top
I understand.
in Google's way. Number two,
But there are other options. There are other options for search.
please, there are not if you're an advertiser or another business. That's what the monopoly thing
Okay,
is.
I hear you.
Number two, the knock-on effect of this is Google owns 90% of search share, maybe even greater, right? Zuckerberg individually, another dual-class college dropout, owns
Yeah.
85% of the social media market.
That concerns me
You-
a lot more. Yeah.
You end up in a place where you're setting a precedent that says when you own such a vast share of this, if we can find some harmed party, it's possible that we can use this as a knock-on effect later on.
All right.
Like there
Yeah.
are four
First
companies that
Google,
own everything.
Then Mark Zuckerberg.
If Lena Khan stays in business, here's what I'll say. I love Lena Khan. This is a solid 8. It turns into a 9 if she goes after Zuck next, because social media is what actually concerns me. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Matt. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's great, but social media is the concern for me.
All right,
Zuck.
who won? I think it was me.
There's not a
Win.
winner in the game.
You
got the
completely
high
misread
score.
the whole point of this game.
But here is the good game. The results of the good game. The first good game that I've run in like a year. Damien came in with a solid 6.7.
Wow,
Very
that's a little high
Muscardi-esque.
for you.
Very
And
Muscardi-esque.
Ari came in with a very un-Ari like 6.6.
What?
Oh.
No.
6.6.
Whoa, that really hurt.
Well, I mean,
I guess I had a couple of really annoying.
Let's put in
ones.
context some of this, right? Like Ari's childcare fell through. Her son ate his own poop. Like
Getting
there's
his
a lot-
molars.
He's getting a molar.
Better
There
than
were
eating my
shots
poop.
involved at some point, not in the distant. So there's a lot of things that might be tainting
I'm
the
still
results
surprised.
here. All right, let's move on to let's end the show with list of the week.
My favorite
All
phrase.
right.
Let's end the show.
All right, this week's list is unfettered board intelligence.
Unfettered. I
Well,
like that.
I'm going to start with intelligence. So in the free flow analytics data, which we have access to, how do we get access? Just because they sponsor the show? Yeah.
Well, I have a.
They're so kind.
I have a login.
You have a login?
To free
Well, I
flow
know the
analytics.
public login is free, but I know they also sell to institutions, and we have like all of the data. So in all of the data that they gave us, I'm going to start with intelligence. They gave us directors, the percentage of directors on every board that have an advanced degree, and they gave us knowledge maps, what those directors know, their basic skills, right? So I looked at boards with only 100% of directors that had advanced degrees. Everyone on the board has an advanced degree.
How many boards are there like that?
feel like it's a lot.
There's a lot more than you think.
Really?
And I only looked at U.S. companies for this. If I'd done global, the number's really large. But because you're including MBAs in there and law degrees too.
MBA.
So
counts.
Pep Boys is not going to be on here.
But
Or O'Reilly.
to compensate for the fact that MBAs are
Yeah.
on there, I looked at boards where the largest core knowledge, the biggest skill on the board, was not econ or finance.
Okay,
So
I like this.
It wasn't run by MBAs. It's other things that are
Yeah.
running the board. And then there's unfettered. Unfettered means these board members are 0% connected through other boards or direct affiliations. They, the CEO has limited influence,
I like
and
it.
the board isn't full generally of ex or current CEOs from other companies, right?
Okay.
Like they're mostly research or academic or something like that, to the extent I could find them. I came up with a list of 6 companies, unfettered board intelligence.
Are these going to be companies we've heard of? Like
No.
an Intel? No.
No, because all of those are run by econ people. They're all
Right,
MBAs.
exactly.
They
That's
all
true,
went
that's
to
true.
Wharton.
S&P
They
500
all,
generally, you see a lot of that skill set. That's why I love this skill set data. I've learned so much. Just spending time with the data set. It's
just
a great
literally
data set.
flipping through.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
incredible.
being like,
And I
that's
love-
fascinating.
I love comparing peers like within the same industry. It's fascinating, honestly.
Number 6, Health Catalyst. Now you're going to notice a trend here. Most of these are healthcare companies or
That's
like
because most
biotech
companies are
companies.
healthcare companies, all right, or pharmaceutical companies.
There are 7 directors on this board. The number 1 skill is medicine. Number 2 was econ, but number 1 was medicine. 43% women. There was a big power gap. Negative 17% power gap,
Ooh.
which means 43% women, but they only have like 26% of
That's-
the influence on the board.
Awkward.
The insider influence was high here at 52%, but they're smart insiders. That was the good thing. 99% of the board were starters. So the free float analytics data tells you whether they're all stars or Hall of Famers or starters or rotation players, basically how they perform overall. Health Catalyst.
So
was
what are you
number
saying?
6 on the list.
You're saying that Health Catalyst is basically a bunch of smart people who aren't beholden to other special interests. They can make their own
That's
independent
nice.
decisions.
That's what I'm saying.
love it. Wow. I
Not
love
one
it.
of these are totalitarian companies. No dual class
All right. I
shares.
like
No
this. I like
founder
this.
boards. Nothing like that.
All right.
Okay.
Take note. We got to take note of these companies.
I know these are companies.
Yeah,
that
write
if
these
you
down
like,
somewhere. Write them down.
If you like a board, well, you just buy the free flow analytics data. They sponsored the show. Avantor, number 5, 10 directors. Medicine and biology were
Okay,
1 and
trend. I
2.
see a trend coming. Yeah.
20% insiders on the board. 30% women with no power gap.
Oh, I thought you were going to say no power. I'm like,
No power
please.
gap. No power gap.
I really thought that's where you were going.
But they're not really top performers. They're rotation players. 94% of the board are rotation players, meaning this is one of those companies that is probably early stage, not
Right.
making a lot of money, TSR based on future guesses of whether or not they actually be any good. So number 4 on the list, This one's not a healthcare company.
Oh.
Wildan Group.
What is
Wildan
that?
Group.
Wildan Group. I don't know. They're in industrials.
Will he? Won't he? Will Dan? Will not? Wow. I'll
Wow.
stop. I am so
That's a
tired.
moment. I'm going to give that a 6. No, I'll give it a
7 directors on the board. The number 1 skill was law.
Why?
The
What is
number
Wildan Group?
2 skill was engineering and technology, followed by computers. These are lawyers with tech skills. I
Why,
don't know.
Are
Ooh,
they going
that's
to be
scary.
sued? What, are they
These are-
putting?
these
Are they planting chips into mice's like kneecaps? Like, are they worried about lawsuits?
I don't know. It's terrifying.
Exoskeletons.
But here's the bad part: 29% women on the board, but a 14% power gap. So about a third of the board is a little more
Trends.
than a quarter of the board is women, and they have like 15% of the board influence. I
But
don't know.
this
And
sort-
Classic law, engineering, tech.
there's only 14% insiders on this board, so I don't know. Like the men are just hoarding influence on this board.
But what is the average power gap? Do we know for
The
all
average power
companies?
gap is about 7%. So
this
that's
is
double the average.
Right, but still, like this is sort of unfortunately, it's in line with how all these boards
It's the
operate
rough reality.
by
yeah.
average. Yeah, go ahead.
Until we get to some of the later companies. The number 3 company, not a healthcare company, Oshkosh Corporation.
Oh, that
Ooh,
still
like with
exists?
clothing?
No, it is not Oshkosh B'gosh. I believe they're
Oh,
building.
I had the same thought, Ari.
No.
I was like, oh,
they
great.
should.
Maybe I'll support them.
It's not like overalls. It's not overalls. 10 directors. The number 1 skill on this board is building and construction. Number 2 is econ. Number 3 was mechanical skills. Number 4 was law. So
I still think this is a clothing company.
these are
There's a
people
bunch
that
of
got like
construction
their
people.
masters in like construction science or
That's
something.
why there's
right?
so many overalls by Oshkosh.
That might be true.
Construction.
Oh, I like this.
Maybe
I
it's
like this.
wrong. Maybe I didn't look up these companies.
No, you're right.
That's
you're
the
right.
amazing part.
That's what they are. Yeah.
20% women, basically no power gap. 55% influence of CEOs, which is I don't like, but only 10% insiders on the board. So
All right. Well, they're getting people that have been CEO'd. Okay.
yeah, it's just a lot of ex-CEOs and current CEOs, but they're not the CEO of Oshkosh that has all the power. Number 2, Editas Medicine. We're back to the medical companies. 9 directors, medicine, biology, then econ skills. 44% women, no power gap.
Wow.
Whoa.
None at all.
Wow. That's pretty
Those
good.
women have the power relative to their representation on the board.
Have
So-
we done a
that's-
show? Have we done a show with a list with the most favorable power gaps, like with women who have outsized influence? Have
That's
we done
a
that
good
list
idea,
yet?
Damien.
That almost sounds like you just told me what to do for the next
Okay,
show.
well, I'm just curious because I'm
You're not
realizing
here.
as you're
When
talking,
you're back
like,
from France.
isn't it sad that we're that no power gap we're like thrilled with, like we're clapping
Actually,
to that.
On
This
free
isn't just no power gap. This is pretty high.
No, I know,
influence and
but
no power gap.
it's sad that we're still in this state of affairs in 2024. Then again, it's still what percentage of S&P 500 companies have female CEOs? It's still like under 10%, right?
Yeah, it's very small. But
Small, yeah.
the good news is that on freeflowanalytics.com, there's a rankings page, and those are ranked in order of positive power gaps. So
Oh,
you can
right.
just go to Freeflow
That's true.
Analytics and see
Right.
it. The interesting thing about Editas Medicine is the audit committee has 51% of the influence on the board. I don't think I've ever seen that. The audit committee is basically running the board.
All right.
That's kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, but it's interesting.
That is interesting.
And finally, your number 1 unfettered board intelligence company, Insulet Corporation.
Yeah.
The skills are medicine, biology, law, and psychology.
Wow.
There's no econ in the top 4
Wow.
at all. 33% CEO influence, 22% insiders on the board, a massive 17% power gap, but 44% women on the board. Here's the cool part. 85% of the board members are all-stars.
Yes.
They are the top performers in the Freeflow Analytics database. All-stars. Or that Hall of Famer's the top, but All Stars, like,
Wow.
it's Hall of Fame and All Stars are the
So
top
if you have
two.
an MBA on this board, they look down.
Yeah, they're like,
look
what
down
are
on you."
you doing? You suck.
Such a waste of time.
I got my MBA at
It's like you couldn't do any better.
That's it. That's my list.
Oh, that's interesting.
that's-
Damien, you caught all those, right?
Did you write them all down?
Yeah. How do you
Are you
spell Editas? Editas medicine? How do you spell that?
It's like
That's-
Adidas, but with a
That
G.
is our
Adidas.
show. That's Ari, the Data Queen, and Hazelnut Rollis. I'm your analyst, Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float. Not to be confused with Free Float Analytics, who sponsors the show. We are Free Float, a slightly different organization. I'm going to be back on Thursday with something for Proxy Countdown. Damien is taking his bus to France.
Woohoo.
Ari is taking her bus to nowhere. And I'll be back on Friday. Until then, good